Hello, welcome to Deconstructing the Voice. Today I'm going to go over the role of Pirelli from Stephen Sondheim's Sweeney Todd.
Oh, lady, oh,
This past year, I have had an artistically gratifying and vocally gratifying year. I hope to make a video where I go over the roles that I have done. I created 2 original roles this year, and I'm very proud of what I have done. I love the music. I really connected to it. I felt like I did great justice to the score and to the drama of the show. The one low point I have had this year as a singer is that in January and February of 2018, I got a flu/bronchitis infection. The January infection lasted about 3 weeks. And right as I was getting over it, I did not have enough time to vocally rehabilitate, and the auditions for this Sweeney Todd happened the first weekend of February. Unfortunately, when I auditioned for this show, my voice wasn't 100%, and I felt like my audition itself, because of the pieces that I chose, was very flattering, but because I was recovering out of that flu bronchitis stint while I did my audition for the callbacks, I was only cast as the understudy for Pirelli. However, contractually, I am still responsible for knowing the role and being able to go on stage and perform the role to all of the requirements of the director and the music director, in case the tenor, who I know, he's a friend of mine, we've worked together in other shows before, in case he is unable to go on stage. So this video, and possibly sequels of this video, I am going to talk about the trials and tribulations and challenges of learning Pirelli and singing Pirelli. We have yet to actually start rehearsals for this show. In fact, as of my recording this right now, it is a Friday, and our first day of rehearsals for the company, for the production, is this coming Monday. So I have no notes from the music director, from the dramatic director. I have no idea what they want. So the only thing I have to go off of as of this moment is what's written on the paper. They have provided me with a score so that I can learn my part and my notes. And I have to say, the one thing about Pirelli, he is not on stage for very long. So at least it's not a ton of music. However, Stephen Sondheim loves to write music where there is no harmonic core. And for Pirelli, there is no harmonic core. It is like learning a 12-tone aria. I don't believe that dramatically or overall within the whole production, it is necessary to learn the notes. It's probably sufficient to learn close enough, but for me, musically, as a professional, I would much rather like to know the absolute notes, or at least know that I have that ability to sing the absolute notes, and let the music director or the dramatic director tell me, you know what, you don't have to worry about the lines so much. I care more about the words, what he's saying, and how it should be said. So with that, let's take a look at Pirelli musically. The structure of the role, there's only 4 numbers for the role. The titles of each number are number 9, Pirelli's Entrance, number 10, The Contest Part 1, 10A, The Contest Part 2, and then a bit later into the show, number 12A, Pirelli's Death. After a cursory glance over all of these numbers, probably to a tenor, the most glaring detail is that there are 4 high Cs. I repeat that. There are 4 C5s written into the score. Before I even start singing, thankfully, I'm already vocally warmed up, but before I start singing, let's warm up to a high C. For me, one of the more stable ways to access a high C5 is to, on an ah, start with a G4 and just go up the 4th to a C4. So we have... Yeah, I could do better. So because I feel so fairly confident in my high Cs, let me see if I can warm up even higher to an F5. Harkening back to my previous video. Okay, so we're warmed up. I don't want this video to run too long, and I do have the intention on having this Learning Pirelli video to actually become a series. I would like this to be the first in possibly 2 or 3 or however many videos it will take me to discuss this. I am going to only cover musically the actual high Cs, especially since I'm currently warmed up for them. And in future videos, I'm going to talk about the more difficult challenges of this row and why the harmony is just so difficult. High C number 1. We've already sung the entrance. There was a sustained A natural, A4, A natural, but that really was the highest note in that piece. Then there's some dialogue. Then we have 10A, which is the contest part 1. And in the contest, lots of smaller intervals, but lots of movement melodically within the line. However, after a scale upwards, essentially from an F sharp to an A flat, we get nope, nope, it was on a boop. And it's only written as an 8th note, which means, who knows? Who knows? If you're not able to do a full voice high C like I just did for just a tiny bit, which it's essentially a staccato. Nope, it was on a boop. Nope, it was on a boop. You know, something very short. It's not intended to be sustained. The next 3 high Cs, the next 3 high Cs are intended to be sustained, but this one not. So it's even possible that if it doesn't bother the music director or the director, you could flip. So you could also say, nope, it was the pop. Right, like that. And I don't think that's terrible. If I was in the audience, I'd be like, meh, okay. But dramatically, it would at least continue the aesthetic dramatically. Maybe not musically, but still, right? However, my choice musically is to have that be a full voiced high C, but a very short one. High C number 2. This happens at the end of the contest, part 1. So he sings a very interesting da 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 da. It, and I'll get into that in a later video. However, it ends with a sustained high C. And because of textualization, the words are it take da grace. So, right, he's singing in a very stereotypical Italian accent. He's not actually Italian, he's just pretending to be. So, translated, it would be it takes grace. But he sings it take the grace, right? One could argue that flipping into a very pretty sustained falsetto would textually work. And maybe dramatically, that's what the director would want. So for this one, maybe I would practice singing it in the falsetto along with singing it in full voice. So first, I will do falsetto. It take the grace. Right? Because it's sustained. It's a tied dotted half note. Or you can also sing it in full voice. It take the grace. Right? Right? Okay. High C number 3 and technically number 4. So within the score, the way this is written, you sing a D flat, D flat, D flat, C, D flat, and then you jump to the high C. So this is a major 7th interval. So it sounds, I win the race. This is only a small example of why intervallically this roll is so difficult to sing to the score. And I feel if one were to want to change it so that it's easier and probably in a way that it wouldn't be a huge deal, I would say once you're at the D flat and you go down to the C, stay on the C, then jump up to the C. So you would sing, I win the race. Just like that, right? Why make it more complicated unless the music director wants it to fit to the page? Then technically you're contractually obligated to make it fit to the page. So you need to learn how to sing that major 7th in that case. High C number 4 is musically essentially the same thing as high C number 3. The words are different, and you don't have as much singing in front of it as you did for 1, 2, and 3. You have the word plan. So for the high Cs, you have pope, o, pope. So o, that is a more open vowel. Grace, even though it's spelled with an A, dictionally speaking, it is an grace. Race. Same thing. In fact, they both have an R in front of them. Grace, race, race. And then we have plan. So when you're as high as a high C, a can be morphed into an plan, right? You can sing plan, and it'll sound like plan when it's that high in your tenor high tessitura. So we have You like my plane? And then you're killed! Thanks for watching. Please subscribe.